Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. This is Mr. Bird, and I wanted to do something a little different for today. Instead of me talking the whole time, well, I guess I will a little bit, I'm going to do this lesson by video. Okay? So we have been diving deeply into ancient Greece. And for today's lesson, you're going to need to recall a previous lesson where we talked about Athens and Sparta, the two major city-states of ancient Greece, and how they went to war with each other. And I want you to remember, during that lesson, I asked you the question of, if you were the enemy of Greece and you saw Athens and Sparta going to war with each other, and you saw your enemy destroying each other, would you step in and stop them? And I think the answer we came up with is no. I would let them continue to fight. I mean, if the enemy is going to do the work for me, let them do it. That way I don't have to have any of my people killed. All right, so let me see if this will advance. There we go. So for this lesson, let me move my camera around just a bit, get myself out of the way. I'll move up here, jump up here. There we go. For this lesson, we're looking at the standard 6.50. Explain the unification of the Greek city-states by Macedonia, and analyze the impact of Alexander the Great and the diffusion of the Hellenistic culture. Now, the enemy of Greece at that time was Macedonia. And as I told you in that lesson, Macedonia is watching as Athens and Sparta are at war with each other. They're waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time arrives, and led by their leader, Alexander the Great, they take over Greece. And they're going to diffuse. Diffuse means to spread out their ideas. Okay, whoops, let me go here. There's a short video here. There's a link. I've got it posted about Alexander the Great. I'm not going to, for time's sake, to play it right now, but when I return to class, we will watch this, and I may post it elsewhere in D2L so you can see it. But we will watch this together, a little introduction about Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, after he, as you'll see in the video, Alexander the Great begins to conquer the known world. First, he invaded Persia, winning over and over and over again. That means, guys, listen, gals, listen, that means nobody could stop him. He was unstoppable, all right? No one could stop him from winning. Then Alexander turns his attention towards Egypt. And he sees all the riches, he's heard about all the riches and the wealth in Egypt. Hey, if I'm winning and nobody can stop me, why not? And so he and his military move towards Egypt. When he arrives, the Egyptians had heard about how powerful Alexander the Great is. Without a fight, they hand him the crown and name him Pharaoh over Egypt. Now, if you're somebody that likes adventure and you're somebody that likes to go on conquest and things like that, what fun is that? You show up and the enemy just goes, boop, here you go. We don't want to fight you. You just be the Pharaoh. Oh, wow. Pretty impressive. Next, Alexander is going to continue his conquest. He's able to take Persia and begin his empire. What do you think he's going to do to the capital of Persia? Well, it's obvious here on the screen what he does next. He burns Persepolis to the ground, the Persian capital. Then he continues his push into India, where his campaign turned sour. Now, listen, he's winning all these wars. They're gaining great territory. But his soldiers, and this is not good if you're a leader and your soldiers begin to question, why are we doing this? Uh-oh, that's not good. Well, why was he so successful? All right, we're not going to type into ClassKick, but I want you to think about this today. Why do you think Alexander was so successful? Alexander was a great military leader. He was a master of strategy and tactics. That means that, let me move my camera here. Sorry, I'm blinking on and off. Okay. He was very intelligent. He knew how to lead the military. He had studied this. He had very unique tactics that he used to make his military so strong. He was fearless. Now, sometimes what you'll learn in history is when there is a war taking place, the leaders, the generals and the leaders typically do not actually go fight with the men. Alexander's different. He joins his men and he goes into battle and he's willing to risk his own life. Look at this. It says, while in India, Alexander was the first to leap over a city wall in order to inspire his troops. Listen, if I am in the military and we're in the middle of a very dangerous firefight and there's something going on and the commander has given an order for us to follow, and I look and he is charging right into the action and he's jumping over a wall, heck yeah, that's going to get me fired up and I'll probably join him. And that's what happens. His men see this bravery in action. This map shows you Alexander's empire in 332 BC. It's in the purple. Then in kind of the orange there, he begins to add territory. And then in the beige or the yellowish color there, tan color, he continues to capture more land. So look how much land he has actually taken over. And all the other symbols there, the arrows show you the routes that they took. The crossed swords show you the major battles. And looks like the little fire thing shows you the major siege of the cities. So that's kind of cool to see. Man, they fought everywhere. Armies revolt. The soldiers are tired of fighting and want to return home to see their family and friends. I mean, listen, they've traveled a really, really long time. They've left their families. Yes, they've been successful. Yes, they've conquered just about the whole entire known world at that time. They're winning. But their soldiers, his soldiers, are exhausted. They miss their families. They want to go home. They want to go see their family. They want to go see their friends. Listen, when these soldiers traveled, they traveled by foot. They marched. I can imagine. We've marched a long way. We're exhausted. We've fought. That takes a lot of energy. I miss my family. I want to see my family. I understand. But he's trying to encourage him. Let's continue. No one can defeat us. We're undefeated so far. But his men, they wanted to go home. Many have debated whether his death was intentional. All right, so it says Alexander becomes sick and dies. I think it's around the age of 33. Alexander, as his men are putting pressure on him to return home, and he's trying to encourage them to continue, all of a sudden he gets sick. This great conqueror, this person with a drive to push forward and to continue into battle, our leader, has now gotten sick. We can't go anywhere until we see what's going to happen to him. Now, like it says, some people have debated this, and I've never taken part in this debate, but some people think that Alexander may have taken something or may have done something to make himself sick. Okay? We don't know. Did he do it on purpose? Maybe he was thinking, okay, if I get sick, my men will pause. They will decide that, hey, once he heals up, then we can continue. Maybe they'll feel sorry for me and want to wait. The other side of the debate was, nope, he just got naturally sick. Poison is a possible answer. Maybe his troops poisoned him because they were exhausted. They wanted to go home. He did not want to leave, so I guess that's a possibility. Malaria, this is another possibility that he got sick from malaria. Mosquito bite. The places that they traveled to mosquitoes were very well known to be a problem in those areas. Maybe the climate where they were, it's kind of a warmer climate. Mosquitoes are prevalent there, and the mosquitoes carried malaria. Perhaps that's what got him. Okay. Again, look at this. After Alexander dies, he does not have a son or a daughter or anyone in his family that can take over, that will take succession. That means a person who will take over after he's dead and gone. So all this great land that he and his men had captured is broken up into different kingdoms. So let's talk about Alexander. What is he known for? When we say Alexander the Great, well, the marriage of the East and the West. He brought Greece and that area and the Middle East together through his conquest. They were all under his empire. He extended Greek culture and influence. Alexander spread Greek culture beyond the Greeks. So people in Egypt knew about Greek culture. People in other parts of Africa knew about Greek culture. He took these ideas and he spread them all around. He founded numerous cities, married a daughter of Darius, encouraged his soldiers to take Persian wives. He worshipped foreign gods and goddesses. He's recognized as foreign incarnation of Greek gods. So people thought he was one of the Greek gods in human form. He encouraged trade throughout his empire. That means, hey, if you're in Macedonia or if you're in Persia, you need to trade with the people of Greece, and he sets up trade routes. Greek culture became Hellenistic as it spread and mingled with other cultures. So one of the interesting things that you can research when you learn about Alexander a little bit more, you'll see that a lot of his ideas from ancient Greece mixes and blends with different religions and different views of the people in the area that they conquered. Adapted Greek culture and spread Hellenistic influence throughout the vast empire. The main idea, the spread of Hellenistic culture, well, what does that mean? Hellenistic culture is the blending of Egyptian, Persian, Greek, and Indian influence. Okay? So what we're seeing is all of these areas that he conquered, they're sharing ideas